Hey, Eric is on today. How's it going? Damn live now. Hey guys, am I live now, or is it? I'm just looking at YouTube here. I jumped on YouTube because Restream was not working at all. Alrighty, so we got the chat room on. It appears that it's on. Maybe they changed the settings. There used to be a big go live button, and now I just see the end stream button because I hit go live here on OBS. Okay, I'm getting analytics now and all that. So hey, thank you for joining me today for this live stream of free to air talk or whatever, tech talk, whatever you want to talk about. I'm just going to turn my own audio down so I can focus on that. I think my son's coming down. I wonder if I could switch to like the web page. Here we go. No, I don't want to switch to that. I want to switch to satellite chart. There we go. And good. Saved by the cut. All right, so my son is with me here. He's the one in the videos. Whoa, he's grabbing the microphone. He's the one that, if you've ever watched my videos and you hear him chitter-chattering in the background, it's my little son. So I haven't been on in a while because we've had lockdowns here in Ontario. So the schools have been shut down. And so I haven't been doing the live streams that I was hoping to do. You got the Christmas tree? Yeah. What? I'm doing a live stream right now, Pete. So I'll fix it later, okay?
Please.
Oh, it needs new batteries. Mr. Christmas tree needs new batteries. I don't know if he works. Or does it just need to be turned on? Oh, it needs new batteries. Can you go bring that to Mommy and get her to fix that for you? She just needs to put a new battery in there. So, okay. So, satellite news. So, this is what I've been up to. I've been... yeah, switch back to the video now. So, yeah. This is my... been very busy with my kids. Actually, I've been on lockdown, but I've enjoyed it. I like being home with my kids, and it's been good. But I've been busy, and I haven't been able to do as much videos as I'd like to do. So, sorry, I just wanted to go on to the news here. And I'll cut back to the screenshot of my web browser. So yeah, if you're looking for satellite news, a great place to go to is TVROsat, Big Dish News for the Big Dish stuff. Also, I do have my Facebook group. You can join there and chat with some folks. I'm going to turn on the Discord live thing. You just go into Discord and you click on that, and there's my audio. So you'll hear me talking in there. So if you want to join me in the Discord chat and call in, remind me to turn up the desktop audio if you do join in there. And you can chat with me today, but I'm just going to go through the news right now. Not a whole lot of news for free to air. There's been actually a few new channels. So when we go through channels here, there's been... Now, some of these channels, when you go in the charts, to find this page, you go to Satellite Charts and Basic Search here at tvrosat.com. And you go through all the satellites here, you click on the links. I've gone through this before in other videos, of course. But it just has like some channels that are FTA if they're in the clear, and our channels if they switching the encryption changes. And sometimes you do get channels that are encrypted and then they switch back to FTA. It's part of the hobby. You know, we sit and wait to see what we can get for free. These Fox movie channels or Fox Premium Sports or whatever. Sometimes you get some gems there. Like got 41 West and over at the eastern part of the arc of my dish. And I did do a check for this. This is outdated here. That the Turner Broadcasting channels were in the clear, but whenever I went to this, went to 133 West this week, I wasn't able to. I scanned them in, but I wasn't able to. They were encrypted. And sometimes what I was hoping for is sometimes it'll scan in as the $ encryption thing, but it actually will be free in the clear. So yeah, I just did a scan. And I was able to pick up AXS TV and HDNet Movies. So these are two really good finds here. At 131 West, this is the frequency it's at, DVB, and it's at 3820 and 2876. If you know what that means, enter it in. Actually, I entered this in and couldn't find it. Did a blind scan. The blind scan found it because it could be off by like just a frequency or two. So this is where you go to look at the channels. In other news, we have over at TVROSat, Galaxy 30 is now active at 125 West, which basically means that a lot of the channels that were at 125 West, people were getting better signal quality over at 125 West. So I don't know if anyone else can voucher for that, but if you do, let me know. Possible wrestling feed, which is the Ring of Honor feed at 87 West. HD movies and AXS are FTA, and yeah, and they're coming in decently too. They used to be like FTA, but then really difficult to pick up. And I've done a video recently. Check that out on my YouTube channel where I've did a little research. I called up some of the satellite uplink companies and got an estimate, a general estimate, on how much it would cost to have a free-to-air channel. Now it could be up to it could be $30,000 a month for uplink fees on top of having an encoder and other things like that. What else was here? Apparently, the start a bunch of the channels on 101 West, which has all the really cool retro channels, might be switching transponders. The rumors on that channel and this is over at Rick's Wild Feeds, is those channels were going to go away, and they've been saying that for years, and they haven't gone away. It's all these rumors about free-to-air where, you know, it's doom and gloom, the end of the world is happening, and guess what? Nothing happens. I'm like laughing about it. Okay, let's check out the chat. I know there's people in the chat room, and let me just, it's a whole wacka in the chat room. How's it going? I gotta cut to my little split screen thingy here. There you go. It's gonna make this thing big. Pew. There, I can see everything. So there's Jonathan is in today. CP Wolf. Leo asks, I have a question for you. You know, Starlink, do you think as the whoops, it went away on me. Let me just look at this here. Starlink. That's the question about Starlink. I don't know a whole lot about Starlink. I'm probably not going to get it because I get good, reliable internet here. I would have loved to have gotten a sample to do a video on. Erica over at Fairpoint Farm says, hello again. I have to watch the replay. Yeah, Eric's busy. But I wanted to stop and say, hey, still love my FTA setup from last spring and summer. Fun times playing with all. Yeah, and check out Eric over at Fairpoint Farms' channel, and also the Midnight Cafe radio show he's done. He's done it on YouTube. I think he's been busy and not been able to do as many. There we go. There's the right one. So Jonathan McKay has joined us. Yes, I started doing this on Restream, and then I planned everything out and was going to have the event. And I gave out the YouTube link on Facebook, and then once I started streaming, Restream decided to create a new link. So it sent all these people to the link that I originally had prepared and told people to go to, and it creates a new link. So yeah, I haven't had the best experiences with Restream. I want to know what's on 101 West Direct TV. Don't know. I know it's on the C band stuff, and I know it's on KU band. There's a few of the K Love channels. Uh, I don't really talk about the subscription services, and I don't tell people like how to get it. Well, how do you get it? Google DirecTV, call their 800 number, and order it. That's how you get it. And you have to pay them. That's how it works. But if you want free stuff, you can get into the free to air hobby and get what is free out there. Hey Leo, North Coast, how's it going? This isn't a cow, says Jason. Okay, I don't know. Minus 32 today. He's more north than I am. We got a whack of snow here. We didn't get that New York snow. We're like, here I am in Kingston, Ontario, looking down south and all Pennsylvania, and they're getting all this snow, and I'm like, ha 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 ha. And I got like this much snow. I'll tell you a secret. The best secret is Kingston, Ontario. I lived in Ottawa, and then I moved here, and the winters are not like right next to the lake. The winters aren't as brutal as they are up in Ottawa. It's like, and we always get a little bit less snow, but then we watch the news, and then the down in New York State, in northern New York, they get the snow north on the south of the lake. Cardboard guy asked, switches LMB. Perhaps I do recommend. I have a recommendation video about free to air if you're looking to get into KU band, because a lot of people ask me about these dish using a Dish World or DirecTV dish. I don't know. I haven't really experimented with it myself, so I don't have a whole lot of knowledge on those dishes. Apparently, there is dishes out there, but then also you have to make sure you're using the right input settings on your receiver, which just sounds like a headache to me. It almost sounds like it's just easier. If you like to Google it, find it out. But it's just easier to buy a 36-inch free-to-air dish and pick up the channels that way. Bible WordPress is up. Hey, how's it going, Brandon? Good to talk to you. Working good. You are live. Thank you. Yes, I figured that out now. Leo says, yeah, I'm working on YouTube. Same here. And Danny says, hello, I have an Onis Pro Edison. Is that like is that one of their the Edison receivers? I'm gonna switch accounts, so I'm mod. Good morning. Says Loghead Leo. I have a question. Oh yeah, this is back to the question of Starlink, and I think we have a few questions in there. I'm just getting caught up with the questions. Sometimes I will take one of those questions and I'll ramble for half an hour on just one question, and there's a whole lot of questions. I'm kind of all over the map here, so this is the live stream, so do I think Starlink will affect C-band or KU-band? Don't know. That's an interesting question. Elon Musk says, no, it won't interfere or anything. I don't know if it's going to interfere with reception. I hope not. Now, you got to take into account these CubeSats are fairly small. Like, they're not huge satellites that are doing the relays in the low Earth orbit that Starlink's doing. The cool thing is that I have an app on my phone which will monitor that stuff, because I saw an object moving in space. Was that the ISS, International Space Station? Anyway, there's an app you can get on your smartphone, and you can hold it up. It'll tell you if there's an object, a near Earth object, orbiting above space. You won't see the geostationary satellites. They're really far out there. They're pretty much, you wouldn't be able to see them. Ken says he has his HughesNet dish going on KU band at 103. If you are on Facebook, Ken, take a picture of that and tell me how that. Tell me about that, because that would be interesting to see. I've had a HughesNet dish, but I didn't really bother changing the LMB on it and all that to be able to make it work. Donnie Edwards, hello from Texas. Hey. And we got a... Can I set up a setting here? Chat web browser. There we go. I'm just gonna... It just tells us stream health and all that. I'm just making a cut here. Are we at 1 o'clock? Yep. Just going through some more of the questions. Can you see my Shaw dishes in action on my channel, Robbie? North Coast. I will have to take a look at that. Where did it go? What Steve Shoemaker says, what's the best cheap... Steven Shoemaker asks, what's the best cheap receiver? I do recommend the Amico. It's just a good beginner receiver. They're about $88 on eBay. In my video where I recommend free-to-air starters, they're... on my video where I recommend free-to-air starting stuff, you can find a link to eBay for the Amico. Just it helps me a bit by giving me a few bucks in commission for a sales on a satellite receiver. I don't actually sell them myself. Jonathan says there's a forum called Satellite Guys. I like that. Yeah, Satellite Guys is a good forum. Great place where I started when I got into the hobby of free-to-air. The only thing about forums, and that's why I started making videos, because you would read a forum and it would go all over the place, and you wanted to figure out how to get something working, and it was really way too much detail. Like, I just wanted to get, one sentence that will point me in the right direction. You had to find that gem in the rough, right? And so, yeah, there's forums that are helpful, but yeah, you got to read through a lot of that stuff just to get like one sentence that points you in the right direction to what you want to figure out what to do. Patrick's in here. How's it going, Patrick? We were chatting last night, which will be a segue into... there, let's switch this shot here. So I wasn't even on camera there. So we were chatting last night. On Facebook, they have this thing called Facebook groups. And on Facebook groups, you can kind of have like a video chat and have like Brady Bunch, a Zoom call, and chat with people about different things. So we were doing a, if you find my public Facebook page, my public Facebook account, you can do that on Facebook. And we could have a video chat and just have a discussion about stuff. I thought I'd do it again tomorrow, which will be Sunday at around 1 o'clock. I don't know how long I'll be on for, but I'll throw it up there and we'll have a little chat sometime. That was a lot of fun. And maybe some evening. I know it probably works better for most people to just have a chat like that on evenings. Because I think with free-to-air, they used to have like these big satellite conferences, get-togethers and workshops and all this for the satellite community. But now, obviously, we won't have that now. But we can have like a conference meeting if you wanted to do that. Okay, I'm just going to get more of these comments. I can. Well, just do this. Amateur satellite. Oh, this is an interesting one. Hey, I started using a satellite receiver to receive QO-100 amateur satellite radio, but the receiver to receiver TV stations I buy dish rotor, I used your video to set up my motor. Cool. Sounds interesting. A little bit beyond me to figure out how to do that. Yeah, but interesting stuff. Jonathan says, yeah, Lake Ontario helps reduce the snow. Did he retract? Okay, it just moved away. Lake Ontario helps eliminate the snow. For me and my sister, it sucks. For me, yeah, Lake Ontario is... Jonathan says, sub to your Twitch. Yeah, I was going to stream to Twitch as well, but I was mad at Twitch. Twitch, I don't know, maybe it's a setting in there. It only keeps your streams for a short period of time, and then they go away. I'm like, what good is that? You know, like here on YouTube and other places, they're on the internet forever. Now, I could be dead 1,000 years and still my streams will be up, you know, or your videos and all that. Steve Shoemaker asked, what is the CCCC camp servers? Sounds like something more on the line of the dark side of satellite on the piracy side, and something we just avoid here. We're more about getting the true free-to-air stuff. We're about, like, you know, how you get your dish working and get everything going. So I don't know anything about that stuff. I know in other countries and other satellite forums, and the reason why I make my Facebook group, I try to keep it more exclusively to North American use, because what happens in all these other satellite forums is people are posting how to get all this CCC cam stuff, which I don't know how it works in their countries, but that's how they get TV in their countries, and I just don't want that on my forum. I've had a few things on there this over the last month where people are, I had to tell them stop doing that. They were posting like stuff about sharing passwords and stuff like that, and it's like, don't do that here, not on my forum, you know, stuff like that, and sharing accounts and all that. And don't do that on my forum, man. I just want to be nice about it, you know. I'm pretty libertarian about things. I just don't want that on my forum. That's all. What you do in the privacy of your own home is your own business, but what do you have here? Steve says, I have a GTA media receiver. Sounds like something that he bought from Jeff Bezos, helping Jeff Bezos become more of a billionaire. Yeah. They are cheap though. They're like, I've seen some of them for $40, $50 on the Jeff Bezos page, and it's kind of a shame. He's so rich, and the drivers are not making very good money. I like eBay, and here's my attitude on eBay and other places like that. People can have a store at their home, and an extra side business, make extra money, like more, you know, not a billionaire, but, you know, your average people that are selling this stuff on eBay. That's what I like about eBay. It allows people like that are not billionaires, that like they've already made billions of dollars, you know, and yet, you know, anyway, help the small man, you know, and that's what I have to say about that. Mike Anderson's, can you make a video about free European channels? Cheers from Sweden. I would think that there is, maybe there's not as much videos about Europe satellites. I know there is a lot. I found when I searched the topic without typing my name in YouTube, which normally I type my name into YouTube, and then search for what the video, because like I've made over 200 videos about satellite. A lot of videos will have an English title, an English thumbnail, and it's not English. You click on it, it's like, what? I don't understand a word. So that's why you got to type in my name. I have to. I mean, Yes, lots of. Robbie thinks Bible WP says Robbie thinks that YouTube will be here in 1,000 years. I don't know if YouTube will be around or as a company in 1,000 years from now, but the data has the potential to be saved onto a solid state drive for a very long time, and then from whatever data storage devices we'll have in the future, unless something happens that we don't have our technology anymore. North Coast says the cheap receivers is you'll need to program them in. Yeah, some of these cheap receivers. That's why I do recommend the Amico. I think they come with the satellite list, all the satellites. But even this thing, show it to you on screen. I'm gonna cut. Do we have? Am I caught up on discussion? No, there's a bunch of comments. I got this thing here. We got it connected to the satellite. And did it scan it in? Didn't see it. Try it again. So I'm trying to scan in the HDNet channels, but this is going through a lot of cable. This is going from all the way back to that room, through the wall, up around, and up to where I have a splitter to my satellite, going outside, back downstairs, out to the satellite. It does work. It's just, it's a lot of cable, and that was not the strongest transponder. So I was thinking I could scan in the new HDNet movie channel on my little handheld satellite receiver thingy. Could be it's loose here. We'll let that do its scan. Right there. And so back to the questions. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yes, Denny asks, is there any analog channels? Just in my area anyway, what I'm able to get with my 8-foot dish, I was only able to get C-SPAN, and that uses a whole transponder, a whole analog transponder for one channel. Yeah, and that's about it. I got a video. I hooked up an old analog receiver to it. I used the a modern receiver to change the polarity in the LMB, and I was able to do that. Where are we at for time? Hey, is there anyone in the Discord chat there? I was going to open that up. I'm in there, but that's about it. Yeah, you don't have to call in if you don't have anything to say. I just thought I'd have that open. If anyone wanted to verbally ask a question, they can. Anyway. I'm just going to make this bigger. North Coast Workshop says Amico is nice, but it is already programmed for North American satellites plus a sensitive tuner. Yeah, and it's an older but proven satellite receiver. I have the older version of the Amico receiver. It's like a really small satellite box. Ken says he sent a pic to my Facebook. That's cool. Thank you. I'd like to see how that's done. I'm probably not going to do that myself. Rather, like, when you're remounting an LNB, it's just, yeah. I have my free-to-air, freesatellitetv.net shop does have referral links. So if you want to buy something on eBay, even if you click on just one item that you're not going to buy, but then within 24 hours buy something on eBay, I should get a commission if it works. I don't know where the orange wire is.
Am I sitting in front of Daddy?
Uh-huh. He likes the orange wire. Hey, I could just switch to this dish moving. I'm going to cut to this B-roll footage. I think my mic's still on. I'm just going to turn on the thing there. Okay. That's what I got for B-roll footage right now. Whoa. Not the mic. Not the mic. Not the bees. Not the bees.
Daddy, without the orange wire, please.
I'm just trying to read the comments. It made it like really small in this box. I'm going to make this small. There, close this. There we go. Now I can see the comments. Let's use the footage of the satellite as a B-roll. Can you guys still hear me? I'm not even scrolled all that way down there. I'm still doing some comments here. Thank you. I set up my receiver. CKU more. Can you find cheap receivers on eBay? Yes, eBay will have like the handheld receivers and all that. Yeah, you can find them on eBay. Just sort of maybe even use the Billionaires website and then just search for that product on eBay is a way of getting around that. I'm just trying to highlight that. My computer's probably going crazy right now. Lughead says Jeff just stepped down as Amazon's CEO, probably to a higher position, I guess, in the company. I'm not sure how all that works myself, but I mean, when you got that kind of money, why do you still need to work? I mean, I know Amazon is gonna like have a compete with Starlink. They're gonna put more space junk up there, more satellites in space. The amount uploaded in a day of YouTube would take 87 years for just one day. Yeah, it sounds about right. I mean, I'm on YouTube a lot. I'm on YouTube probably more than I'm on on like watching regular TV. I mean, it's all about non-linear TV now. I do watch like news programming. I think that's where the free to air is really good, is to have the for news programming. Digimask says he gets 4,000 channels in Europe. I mean, there's a lot of channels in Europe too, that's for sure. There's a lot more in Europe. The funny thing is with satellite in North America, we have like some of the satellites that will only have like one or two channels have the capacity to fit a whole whack of channels on there, but they're not optimized. They want like $5,000 per megabyte. I'll put that into perspective. So this live streaming this shot of the satellite dish moving, is 2 megabyte, 2,000 kilobytes, which is 2 megabytes up per second up. So for me to have a satellite channel to be sending video at this quality at 720p H.264 would cost me about $10,000 a month, and plus I'd have to have an encoder and a designated internet. A designated network connection going to the satellite uplinker. So I'd have to pay for those costs on top of having the programming. So it's and then some of those programming, some of the channels on Galaxy 19, the bit rate is very low, and the reason why it's so low is because it's $1,000 a month, or no, well, not $1,000, it's $5,000 a month for 1 megabyte. Robbie should start a tech channel. I've started a tech channel in 2017, I think, or even before that. I started doing tech reviews. Says Bible WordPress. Grim Reaper says, any way to cut the keyboard music? Nope, my son's, he's the boss, man. He's playing it here. Why does Rich keep getting richer? Yeah, that's the way it goes, eh? Oh, that's a great question from G.I. Joe 3K. Hey, Robbie, I love your channel. Any chance of doing any... let's cut back to that in a minute. Any Linux videos? I love talking about Linux. I love talking about Linux Mint. Can you turn that down, Peter? You have it full blast. Thank you. I'm kind of watching my kids while doing a live stream. So yeah, if you don't like his noise in the background, just leave. I'm sorry, he's here, man. It's like, remember to save. Always remember to save. 3.5 disc. Yeah, if it bothers you, just read. You can find like all this information online. Okay. Yeah, but I do plan on doing more Linux videos. Just as it comes. I haven't really done a Linux video about like the latest versions of Linux. I've been using an older version of Linux because I like it. It works. Why upgrade to the newer version, which had features that I liked that were day-to-day killer apps? They took out, like the network VNC connecting tools, where I can go use this computer from my laptop, control it from my laptop over the local area network, stuff like that. They took out of the latest version of Linux Mint, and I think you can figure it out, but it's rocket surgery to get it back working again. Yeah, he's got the keyboard here. I did a video, check that out, where it's a MIDI device. It's like this little, it's really cool. This little USB to MIDI device, and this is like my grandmother's old piano keyboard, and it has. Don't put that near your ear. Sorry. So I'm able to use this program in Linux called LMMS, and I can import a MIDI file and convert it over to make the piano play. I don't know how to play a note or anything like that. I don't have no musical talent, but I do have technology talent. So I just thought it was kind of fun to put that on there and have it play all these different, There, I'm gonna go full screen here for a minute, or not. Oh, he's fine there. You got the baby. So my next video, I'm gonna do a video on this Digit Now record player. I had to go out and get some records. Found some old classical records because I didn't own a vinyl record player, so that will come up tomorrow for playing records. I just got so I went on Facebook Marketplace, found some records, like just old classical music records. Why the heck not, eh? Whoop. There's the record player. And hey, why not? Hopefully he doesn't fall. He fell down. These guys don't stand too well. There, put a record on. Turn on the record player, as the president would say. If he's the real president or not, I don't know. Well, that'll get me banned, won't it? Anyone want to call me? I'm reading these comments and I'm reading them quietly because I'm trying to squint and read. So I'm on Discord if you want to talk to me. I'm going to cut to a break. If you want to join me on Discord, I'll be there. I'm going to just play the little break here and fix my...
Please check out freesatellitetv.net. And also check out the new shop where you can order free satellite TV, LMBs, receivers, and dishes. All sorts of things for your free-to-air needs over at the freesatellitetv.net shop.
If you want to watch a streaming service and you're in a country like Canada, certain programs are region blocked so you can't get it, you can use ExpressVPN if you have a cell phone. So if you use public Wi-Fi, you tell it which area you want to connect to in New York City, connect. So if you're using public Wi-Fi at Walmart, a restaurant, you really should be using a VPN. It will protect your private data and also it saves you a lot of money. It's a fraction of the cost of what a cell phone data plan is these days.
Please check out freesatellitetv.net. And also check out the new shop where you can order free satellite TV, LMBs, receivers, and dishes. All sorts of things for your free-to-air needs over at the freesatellitetv.net shop.
If you want to watch a streaming service and you're in a country like Canada, certain programs are region blocked so you can't get it, you can use ExpressVPN if you have a cell phone. So if you use public Wi-Fi, you tell it which area you want to connect to in New York City, connect. So if you're using public Wi-Fi at Walmart, a restaurant, you really should be using a VPN. It will protect your private data and also it saves you a lot of money. It's a fraction of the cost of what a cell phone data plan is these days.
Please check out freesatellitetv.net. And also check out the new shop where you can order free satellite TV, LMBs, receivers, and dishes. All sorts of things for your free-to-air needs over at the freesatellitetv.net shop.
If you want to watch a streaming service and you're in a country like Canada, certain programs are region blocked so you can't get it, you can use ExpressVPN if you have a cell phone. So if you use public Wi-Fi, you tell it which area you want to connect to in New York City, connect. So if you're using public Wi-Fi at Walmart, a restaurant, you really should be using a VPN. It will protect your private data and also it saves you a lot of money. It's a fraction of the cost of what a cell phone data plan is these days.
Please check out freesatellitetv.net. And also check out the new shop where you can order free satellite TV, LMBs, receivers, and dishes. All sorts of things for your free-to-air needs over at the freesatellitetv.net shop.
If you want to watch a streaming service...
Okay, I'm back. Is the audio on? Okay, it's on. Yeah, so little Robbie, he's upstairs right now. Yeah, and he was just, unfortunately, he decided to plug in the microphone into my monitors while doing this. It's like, I'll go, we'll do another 20 minutes of this, and then it's nice and snowy outside, so we're going to go out and play. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys something. So this is pretty cool. Yes, the Atari XEGS joystick. Get at it. Yeah. So I bought this cool little thing. I know I'm not a gaming channel. I don't talk about gaming. I talk about Linux stuff. So this, yeah. So there's this little gadget I got from Europe. Yeah, Europe, they're big on Atari stuff. And that, so it's your DIM9 connector to USB. So in Linux, I'm able to use this program called Q Joystick. What is it called again? Just to make sure I did a video review on it where I connected just your regular Logitech joystick up to a computer. And was able to, like, when you're playing like a web browser game, just so you're not using the keys on your keyboard, you want to actually use like a joystick or whatever. It's in games here. Q Joypad. That's the program I use in Linux. So if I'm in a browser and you can get some browser-based games, and you just don't want to play with your keyboard, you can map a joystick, and it'll even work with this joystick. So what I can do, for example, with this joystick is plug it in my computer. I can sit and like scroll Facebook with an Atari controller, which is kind of neat. So I'll be sitting here and I'll be like scrolling down on my screen with this Atari controller that I got in the late 80s, early 90s. Could have been early 90s when I got this. Because that's when Atari sold stuff cheap. Alrighty. Oh, is there anyone on Discord? I have my headset off. Oh, there is someone here. Hey, how's it going? Open up. Yes. Oh, wait, let me turn your audio up. G.I. Joe 3K. Yes, I'm just turning your audio up. Can you talk?
Oh.
There, okay.
Yes, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes, so we got G.I. Joe 3K on here. Can you guys hear
Yes.
G.I. Joe 3K?
Oh, snap. I'm also broadcasting, huh?
Yes, this is on the Discord voice server, so that's why I could use Restream, but I like OBS. I like having my own switcher and all that. That works more fluidly than with Restream, and plus Restream, if you with the scheduling, it sent out a link and then started the stream and created a new link. So that was no good when I already posted on social media where to find me.
Nice.
So where are you from, G.I. Joe?
I'm actually recently from Seattle, but all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Really. But yeah, I do enjoy Canadian land, especially Timmy's.
Good old Timmy's, eh? But now here in Canada,
That's good stuff.
it's all about the McDonald's coffee. And if I don't know, I gotta ask some people
really?
that have been. Yes. Well, what happened here in Canada? Oh, I don't know. It's like a weird. Timmy's coffee switched suppliers, and the rumor was that McDonald's got this coffee supplier that Timmy's used to have. And so McDonald's Canada. See, I don't know if McDonald's. See, in Canada, it's McDonald's Canada. I don't know if they have the same coffee. Is coffee still suck in the U.S., or is it actually better than what it used to be? Because I remember when, years ago, it used to suck, and now it's, really good.
Gotcha. So I would say for a long time, the mom and pop shops were pretty tasty, So the local shops and Starbucks was kind of criminally priced and maybe overvalued. But this may be I'm sure I'm kind of biased, but as I'm actually, for my business, I'm a long haul truck driver. And believe it or not, the truck stops, especially Loves and Pilots, I don't know if they have any of those up in Canada.
No.
They have these bean to cup coffee machines that are just fantastic. So they grind fresh beans right in front of you, and then they make the coffee, and it's really tasty. So, yeah, it's pretty good. But as a shout out to my buddy online, he's not a big coffee drinker. He calls it burnt toast water.
Oh yeah.
It's a reference. It's a reference to one of his favorite books. But anyway, so yeah, are you usually on Discord?
I'm on Discord sometimes. I'm kind of on when no one else is on. I've tried to make a point to be on maybe a little bit on the weekends in the afternoons, but then there'll be no one really chatting then. I've used Discord successfully before for doing the call-in type format. I just haven't figured out a way of getting a VoIP phone for doing this type of stuff, and I haven't been doing the live streaming as much as I'd like to.
Right.
And I got young children, and I try to do this at
That's-
nap time, but my youngest daughter, is getting to be that age where she's not going to be napping much. So that might mean that I might not be able to live stream as much. Have that quiet time where the other kids are just playing on a tablet device for like an
Right.
hour while I do this.
That's a good idea. One of the things I actually, on a different subject, I wanted to ask you, what's your opinion on the alternatives to YouTube, like Library TV and Rumble and all those BitChute, and the other one I hear it's up and coming is PeerTube. Have you experimented with any of
Yes,
those?
I have. I have a channel. I have BitChute. And I have another channel which I wanted to plug. I really like. It's another social media network, but has it's very good for importing YouTube content to it. So it'll download your video off YouTube and back it up. Now, BitChute was supposed to do that, but it doesn't. I'll get into that in a second. But Minds, you can find me at Minds, Robbie Strike at Minds or whatever. And it's kind of a free speech platform. It's kind of a nice alternative to Facebook. I'm on all of them. I was on anywhere where I think I could reach out to people about spreading the knowledge of free to air. I pretty much have gone to all these platforms. And some, no success because it's a new platform. It's very hard to get on. I've never been a fan of Twitter. I like Facebook, and that's when I talk about how I like Twitter or I like Facebook and not Twitter. I'm talking about how it works technically, right? How you can reach out to people. But even Facebook is very difficult to reach out to people. So I have a Facebook page, and I'll put a post out there. It'll reach a small percentage of the people that actually follow me on Facebook. I have to pay Facebook money to be able to get my my post, like for this live stream, out to more people. So, yes. Yeah, so I've tried Rumble. I'm not a fan of, just on a technical how it works. I upload videos, and then I couldn't find it in the Rumble search because I wanted to make it like how it works on YouTube. So far with Rumble, but they're new. They're new kids on the block, right? Rumble, I heard was the servers are in Canada, and BitChute. Reason why I tried BitChute is what's his name? Fairpoint Farms. Eric at Fairpoint Farms has a lot of his content on BitChute, and it's what I thought how it would work originally is it would back up your YouTube channel. So it just gave you a nice backup of your YouTube content to the other platform. So I set it all up for that, and it didn't work. So I was kind of disappointed with that. So it just means I have to re-upload the same video to BitChute, and BitChute's it would take the video, but sometimes it would process it, and then it would never get published, like because it just something happened with the BitChute video, with the video on BitChute. But I'm for free speech platforms. I don't want, a handful of companies controlling all of big tech. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to diversify that.
It.
Yeah, we need to have more I liked YouTube back. Like YouTube's become a cable channel, right? They push the content. When you search YouTube for news, you get the mainstream news articles. I want to get the real gritty, like somebody videotaped something with a cell phone.
Not biased.
Not biased, exactly. But we know where the bias lays with these big tech companies. I'd like to see more success for them. Now, Parler is a big, made a lot of news recently, and I was on Parler, wanted to reach out, but I didn't like Parler. You know what I didn't like about Parler? They wanted me to ID myself, send a picture of me with my ID to get verified. That would allow me to reach more people on Parler. I didn't like that. Where Minds and Gab and other places like that, I'm on all these, basically everywhere. If it's free, I'll sign up for it and I'll try to reach out for it. I do have groups for free to air. There's no one on them right now, but I created a group on Minds. I created a group on MeWe, which is another social media alternative, and Gab. So I've actually created a little free to air discussion group on there, and I'm just posting my videos where it is there if anyone was on those forums. Because that's how you're going to make these forums grow, right? You got to put content on it that people are going to want to get. So I do my little part by putting my content on there for free to air stuff. And because I wanted them to succeed, I want someone. I kind of after what Facebook's done, some of the things I'd like to see Facebook becomes MySpace.
Yeah.
Where MySpace was like, I don't know, what was that 2006? It was MySpace was the thing, right? And then Facebook came along, and Facebook does work well. YouTube works well. If I were to like put like Facebook against any of the other, they do work a lot better than because they got the billion dollar corporations behind them.
Yeah. Interesting. This kind of goes back to going to the question with the alternative YouTube. Any thoughts on, I don't know if you're familiar with the term called the Fediverse?
No, what is that?
Basically, it's kind of like what I was talking about with PeerTube and all those other ones. But the Fediverse is basically, instead of having, so like for so like YouTube and Facebook, they all have centralized servers, right?
Yes.
And if they don't like something on there, they can just, well, I hate to use this word, but cancel you, right? They can just get you off, right? So the idea behind the Fediverse is basically what's funny, it's supposed to be like a new concept, but it's really just what the internet has always been.
Yes,
which
has a peer-to-peer.
Peer-to-peer servers and even just computers.
Yeah.
Just regular desktop computers. So, example one would be alternative to Twitter is Mastodon.
Yes, that's the non. I listen to. I don't know if you're a libertarian or swing that way, but I listen to LRN, which is on satellite. It's a big libertarian radio channel. I called them in a couple months ago just because they promote free to air. All these other channels, they're on free to air. They won't mention free to air. We're on Dish Network. We're on cable. We're on this cable company. Blah blah blah. They won't say they're on free to air. They should be. They're spending $30,000 a month for a high definition channel. I'd be yelling at you. I'd be handing out flyers,
Right.
But they don't do that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not on Mastodon, but
that's
I probably was. Brandon, Bible WordPress, had me on there, and it wasn't working properly. That's the thing with a lot of these new things. I was on Gab last week. Gab's gotten whacked with a whole lot of new users, and I'd load up Gab, and it would be like loading and loading and loading. Oh, I got all these notifications. How do I get that back? And it was because their servers. Gab created their own service. They're starting their own service called Gab TV.
Right.
And other alternatives. And also, what happens if servers break down? Right. This is like this big, sophisticated computer. It can get a glitch, and it's all gone.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I'm excited about the whole Fediverse.
The peer-to-peer.
It's decentralized.
Decentralized, yeah. It'll probably be slower because that's how the internet kind of worked back. Even still does, but like back in the olden days when you'd first use the internet, it would be kind of slow. You'd load a web page and it would take, it would take forever to connect. But as soon as it would connect, it would load up. But it took forever to connect. It was trying to find its. So someone asks here in the chat room, does Canada get stimulus checks? Because I was laid off, so I got we had a CERB thing going on, and then it either changed into all these different kind of stimulus programs, and that's what I was wondering about with the States. Actually, you could probably answer this for me, Mr. G.I. Joe. Can you get unemployment in the States, like if you lost your job due to COVID? Because we were able to at least get CERB or go on unemployment if we've lost our job with unemployment.
I believe so, and for a good extended period of time, depending on your circumstances. It just kind of depends on which state you're in and where you're at and all that kind of thing.
Every state's a lot different.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, even in Canada, healthcare, you have to pay a premium on your taxes, and it's different by province. So, and I don't know a lot of that legal stuff or any of that. My wife does the taxes, which I'm very thankful for.
Ah, cool. Are you still unemployed at this point?
At this point, yes. I've been back to work on my real job. And so it's been slowly back into the process, but I won't get too much more into that.
Got
But
it. Sure.
yeah, but it's what I liked about it is the schools were closed, and I have children, and they were, so I was able to stay home and do homeschooling. So we had like a wasn't Zoom, but they had like this other Microsoft product, and it worked in Linux too. Like I used my computer for the webcam. It basically worked in the browser. As long as you had Chrome on Linux, you can use all these services for video conferencing. North America. And I'm trying to read the comments here, and sometimes I get lost away. So I apologize if you have asked any questions here I haven't been able to get to. And someone asked, I'll answer this here. What do I think of InfoWars? Something I don't know if I could talk about that too much on YouTube or not. I don't know what would happen. But yeah, they're on Galaxy.
Can they hear me, Rob?
Yeah, I believe so. My microphone. Okay. Can you guys hear G.I. Joe? At least from what I'm seeing here. So yeah, you can watch InfoWars on Galaxy 16. And there's a show there that's, what's the new guy there? Harrison Smith. He does a call-in show in the mornings. I guess David Knight's no longer there, and I've been enjoying the call-in show. I find the first hour of Alex he has his meltdown type thing. This is gonna be my last broadcast ever. I normally don't like to be an alarmist, but I gotta tell you, this is gonna be my last broadcast. I don't like marijuana. It made me paranoid. I had another one he says that a lot too. But yeah, that's a big thing on satellite. I think that is because there's no CNN and there's no Fox. There's that channel. There's RT Russia Today, Press TV, and there's the wild feeds. And I like following news. And there's also a lot of radio channels on Galaxy 19 that have like talk shows.
Have you had any more opportunities to play around with software-defined radio?
Got it all right here. I don't know if you can see it. I got it here on my desk. It's kind of like spread out with a mess of wires. Here, if I go to this shot here, I'm not the most knowledge. Like, I wouldn't say, like, there's amateur radio folks that probably know this a lot better than me. I'm not really interested in going full amateur radio stuff, but here's my RTL. I don't know if you can see that there. Whoops, my headphones are swapped. So that's connected with USB to the down-up converter to get the HF shortwave frequencies. And I have my MLA 30 loop antenna thingy. And I haven't really been playing around with shortwave radio. I'm in a noisy area, right? There's power lines right out the window here, so it's kind of like... And I think that affects the HF and the shortwave stuff. Now, for these things to listen to VHF and UHF, they're great, right? You can use them as a scanner and things like that. But I really like listening to shortwave and stuff like that, and then the HF stuff to hear what people are saying on shortwave radio. Not shortwave, but upper lower sideband. But I'm not. I haven't been spending as much time in it, and plus I got to sit here. This is the cold basement, right? And I have a laptop upstairs. I haven't figured out how to hook this up so I can connect to it via the network and just listen to stuff. Now, you can go on, if you do a Google search for software-defined radios, you can actually just, you don't even have to buy all this stuff. There's online software-defined radios where you can play around a little bit with them and listen to the bands in different areas of the world. So playing around with those were kind of fun too.
Yeah.
And you don't have to
I
configure your system.
recently, right, I recently got one myself, the hardware, and there is a distro of Linux that is specifically built for them.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So it has all the there's a pre-compiled programs for it. So then you could use it with your software-defined radio. But I haven't had the chance to goof with it. But I'm hoping the ultimate in game for myself is to have maybe a Raspberry Pi or just a little tiny computer, other than the Raspberry Pi, that would basically sit there and then just basically record, kind of like a radio DVR, and record programs from the radio, and then be able to kind of be like my own radio recorder, if you will. So
Yeah. The thing
Just
I
curious.
find, how I do things, I listen to a lot of the radio on Galaxy 19. With the this product here, the Edison Mio, where works great with that, where you can connect your phone or your computer or whatever, and like on this computer I can view the content, even though the Edison Mio is upstairs. Well, actually it's down here, but I'm using the Z Gamma. Same operating system. I can set it to this screen here, listen to it. I can listen to it throughout my house. I can get Bluetooth headphones and listen to the satellite radio. Now I could pretty much set this computer up too, so I could put it on a frequency, and I could, using Bluetooth speakers or whatever, send it wherever I'd want in the house. But I'd like to be able to, with a radio, you want to be able to tune it, especially when you're in shortwave mode. I would imagine, though, with software-defined radios, there probably is devices like that where you can control it with your phone and then listen to it through your phone.
Right. Cool. I was going to ask you the other thing too is, do you have any thoughts or opinions on the Linux phones that are coming out, particularly the Pine phone?
I want
Tourism, I
one.
don't know if you've heard.
I'd like to eventually. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna probably move away from Android. I liked Android, for its compatibility with Linux stuff and with satellite stuff. There's an Android app for this device here. There's a couple of them actually that will work with Open. What do I use? I did a whole video on it, and I'm trying to remember. It actually doesn't say what Android device to get to work with this. Is it DreamSat? Oh, they always have these different names. It's right on my phone here. But there is an app, and you can listen to radio, or you can watch TV. So like, I'll watch TV on this thing, or have it playing in the background, and I'll be outside, just listening to news or whatever. And another thing too, which I'm starting to learn more about, and I think I'll set it up here, is I gotta learn cryptocurrency. I think that's the future.
Yeah, again, another good example of decentralized power.
Yeah, exactly. Dream Droid.
But yeah.
That's the program. So I got this on my phone. You see the camera there. It's going to load up. It might not be connecting to my satellite box. Maybe it changed the IP address. So you have to get the IP address off of your satellite box onto the phone. So you just go into the settings, go into your satellite box and find what the local area IP address is, and then it'll download all the channels to your phone. You can use this phone as a remote control for your satellite box. And you can stream your content to your phone if you want. So if you want to sit there and plug in your headphones and listen to your satellite receiver, you can do that. That's really cool stuff with a lot of the Linux stuff, and with this with Android. Now, if there's a Linux phone and a Pine phone, hopefully there's like a really good app development community that would have all that stuff. Because I find with Linux, you get the same program in Linux that's free, no adware, none of that crap. Does the same thing, but you try to find something like that in the Play Store, and it's just, buy this for $7 a month or something like that,
Right. Well, it's getting there, and I've been keeping an eye on it. And basically, they're at, from what I understand now, they can now, as a daily driver, send texts and make phone calls and all that kind of thing. But it's not completely, I would say it's still in I don't know, like pre-beta stage. In terms
Yeah,
of using
it seems like it's
So,
been that way for a long time. And see, I always thought with Linux being on a phone, I could take this old Samsung phone and
Mhm.
install like the Pine OS on that or some, there'd be a
Mm,
way to
mm.
do that. Like, so if you had old phones, old Android
Yes.
devices, and you wanted to put like a very, and definitely in the Linux community, though, like, say I got a tablet probably almost 7 years old now, and Android's probably not going to support that anymore. So it would be kind of cool to have like in Linux, there's Ubuntu Lite or Xubuntu, and there's these other Linux distributions that you can run on really old computers and still do
Yeah.
basic stuff with them. You might not want to use a web browser on them, but you can use them for running emulators. I got a Sega Genesis
Right.
emulator, and I'm able like you can't do anything with the computer, but you can play Sega Genesis and SNES games on it.
Right. Well, check out UB ports and their website. It's basically I don't know if you remember years ago, Canonical, the people that make Ubuntu, were trying to make what they called convergence, which is Ubuntu that would work not only on a desktop but on a phone. And then long story short, they dropped it.
Yes, I
And
remember
so,
hearing that and thinking that would be the next
yeah,
big thing, and nothing came of it.
yeah, and so they dropped it. So the community has picked it up, and they've done a ton of work. So if you go to their website, UB Touch, I believe it is. You just DuckDuckGo UB Touch. Um, they have a list of hardware they support, and I believe a couple of those pieces of hardware, those old phones, are old Android phones that people consider garbage, but by today's standards. But you could pick them up for pretty cheap and then start using their operating system, and it's pretty fast because it's free and open source software.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that'd be good to have on my old tablet, and as long as there's a
yeah.
satellite app. Well, even with a satellite app, if it's Linux based, there's probably a browser that could like that's how I get around a lot of things with Linux. Is as long as it works in a browser, if there's a web interface, you can get
Yeah.
around. You don't need the software.
Right. Right.
Like with the Edison Mayo, if I want to connect to this computer, the easiest way is just connect through the web browser. There's a web browser interface, and then I can watch the TV programming on my computer. It streams right to the computer without having to install any software.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so I like the
Awesome.
player. There's a player in Linux called SM Player. I use that a lot. I actually like how it handles video better than VLC at times.
Oh, right.
Yeah, VLC does okay, but it's just like when VLC can't do it, I use SM Player.
Right. Yeah, it seems like VLC is being a lot of bad reviews these days, mainly for its being bloat.
Oh yeah,
And-
well probably that would be the Windows version. I don't like the Linux version. Doesn't seem to have changed much over the years.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I still use it. So
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't have the bells and whistles in Linux that it would have in Windows. And also, when I try to run a webcam on it, it's always delayed. We're in OBS, which I have on this monitor here. OBS just looks like fluid. It's like almost instant. There's a little bit of a delay, but it's pretty much instant.
yeah. Well, are you usually on your Discord channel every once in a while? The
I
chat?
am once in a while when I post the video and the voice chat. Now, what I'm trying to promote now, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but I just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, what I liked about Facebook, I have to find like another place to do that. I know you're very knowledgeable about the open source community, and I remember there was a Zoom alternative, an open source Zoom alternative, but that just means that it's trying to get everybody to move to this other platform.
Right.
And here's the thing I think about Facebook. If you want to boycott Facebook, you got to get your mother your father, people that are on Facebook. You got to get them over to Discord or Telegram or something like that. I'm not even on Telegram yet, but something like that. Get them, off of Facebook onto some other platform, because those are the people that don't know, but say, hey, I'm over here, and that would be a small little thing like that will get people off. The reason why I'm on Facebook is that's how I talk to my mother. But I also use it for my video work, because I can reach a lot of people on Facebook, even though I have to pay Facebook for one of my Facebook web pages that I have to go out to more people. I have to pay Facebook extra money to get that, and I never give in to them for advertising. Maybe when I get into more cryptocurrency on these other platforms, I will maybe exchange cryptocurrency for advertising, because you do gotta advertise to grow a hobby. And I hope free to air is really very limited right now. There's not as much. There's not like that killer app channel. I think what we need on KU band is a handful of the networks or the diginets. Just something to say, people, I want to cut cable. I go free to air, but there's just not a whole lot of channels. If there was a few more channels on 103 West, because 103 West has NBC, Cozy TV, DW, NHK, and the China News channel. So if you had a few more channels on 103 West, that would probably, definitely, if there was a MeTV and Decades and all those type channels, all those diginet channels that maybe not everyone can get with an antenna in every area, I think that would really help free to air, just to get people more interested in it. There is a movie channel now. If you have a C-band dish, there's the HDNet movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's HDNet movies and Access TV.
Is it free, or is it?
It's probably they're a cable channel, so and that's the funny thing is, you pay for cable, you pay for TBS and TNT, and there's still ads in that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So, and same thing here in Canada. I mean, I had cable back. Well, I grew up with cable. I didn't have satellite TV. I just always wanted to have satellite TV. We had the cable TV where you had to have the special converter box on top of the TV, big wooden television sets with the Atari 2600, the video disc player, and the VCR are all this big stack of things on top of the TV. And that's why I still. Yeah, that's why I still have the, you can't see it behind the record player, but I still have a tube TV back here, because I watch MeTV. I watch Cozy TV and all those channels. I like watching it on the proper aspect ratio.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, so I still keep, and I got that TV, the tube TV, it was free, and it's a picture-in-picture TV, which I just thought was kind of neat. One of those neat consumer technology things that never took off.
Well, I was going to ask you, what was your first experience with satellite TV back in the day?
Back in the day, maybe there's hotels and lodging places that had in being Canadian. I remember I stayed at Logosland in Cobden, Ontario, and they had they must have their own private cable system off the satellite, kind of like a modulator, which a lot of hotels have, where they take the satellite channels and put it onto their own little private cable system. And I flipped through it, and then they had Smile of a Child, and these Christian channels. I am a Christian, so I that's one big thing that free to air works with me, because I can watch a lot of faith-based content. Sure. There's a Christian movie channel, and there's a Smile of a Child. So I first saw that when I was staying at Logosland. Logosland's kind of a religious theme park, or water slide place. Anyway, I stayed at one of their lodging places in the wintertime. I just got this free lodging thing I wanted as a prize. And I was flipping through the channels. I had TNT and the USA network, and that must have been free on satellite. This is back around 2001-ish. Yeah. And I was in Canada, we don't get those channels. We don't get TNT, and we don't get TNT and USA Network. We don't get those two channels. We never got them in Canada. And those are the wrestling channels. That's Monday Night Raw, and back in the day, it used to be WCW wrestling. So being a wrestling fan, I talked to other people at my school that would watch. I think they would do the card stuff, you know. But they would get all the American channels that I couldn't get on Canadian cable. So it always made me, being a wrestling fan was a big driving why I wanted to get a satellite dish to be able to watch the events. And also there was the independent wrestling stuff, all that. Now you go to YouTube, and it's an infinity of wrestling. But I still watch. I haven't really watched Monday Night Raw as much over the last few weeks, but I can watch that on C-band. I can watch SmackDown on C-band, although SmackDown's on broadcast over-the-air TV now via Fox. So I can watch wrestling on there. It's just I've been doing other things right now, and I haven't been able to watch. I think I've been watching a lot of news recently.
Oh yeah. No, I was just curious because it seems like a lot of fans of satellite have some sort of experience, you know, when they were younger. I mean, I remember mine was the concept of this is way back in the 80s and early 90s, but like the concept of getting free HBO.
Yes.
Was amazing. You know, that was mind blowing, you know.
Yeah. Well, one thing that made me jealous when I was a kid, we made a video in school, and then somebody, I was always a video nerd, and I was like, so I edited the video and I made copies of it for all of my classmates. One of my classmates, she had a satellite dish, and she had like all these HBO movies that I never saw. Like 3 Men and a Baby was on this VHS tape, and I was like, oh, I don't want to tape over this. So I made a copy of it, and I put the video that we made at school onto the tape. And I was like, oh, I wish we had a satellite dish, because like that was like a movie that was never on the Canadian movie channel, and I don't think our video store had it, but yet it was on TV. So it was like one of those ones I missed.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I got into free to air probably around 2008, but I didn't actually have a space where I can use it. So my parents have a cottage, so I set up a dish for them, and then got some of the free to air channels, and that's how I experimented with Galaxy 19 and all that. And then it wasn't until a few years later when I had an apartment, and I made sure at that point that I had an apartment before I got a house that was facing the southeast, you know, so I could put a KU band satellite dish to get a few channels. And there was quite a lot more on KU band at the time. There was Retro TV and PBJ. I don't know if you remember that channel, but it was like this cartoon channel that would show He-Man and stuff like that. Yeah. That used to be on free to air, and maybe Tough TV. I think there was 3 of them on 83 West or one of those satellites. And then Galaxy 19 had a lot more channels. They had EBRU TV, which is kind of like PBS, that used to be on satellite. And they also had, and you get PBS, so you always got PBS on satellite. And what was the other? 87 West with the feeds and different channels. One of them went away. I'm trying to remember. History Channel and Bio used to be on. So nope, that was perfect. I just parked it right on 101 West and watched history all the time. So that was my first KU band. And then when I bought my house, I was like, okay, I need a south-facing backyard. And then now you see me standing in front of the satellite dish when I intro a lot of my videos.
That's cool.
Now,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. So a lot of people talk about HBO but now, like, this is 2021, we do have Netflix. I mean, like, there, you know, all that content. Another thing too is when people say, "Oh, satellite was so much better," but in the '80s, movies were better than what they are now. I mean, just the comedies and everything was just. I don't know. I think I always found movies definitely from the '80s, and that's what I do like about the over-the-air channels that do play old movies. You can see that. I don't see as many of the older movies on Netflix as much. Anyway, we've gone, it's about an hour and 20 minutes now, actually longer than that. What did this thing say? I can't tell. Did I miss any really good questions here? If I missed a question in this chat room here, just copy and paste it in again, and I'll try to answer it. Yeah, VLC. VLC. I had an issue with VLC at one point with a camera. I have a security camera, and the codecs there's used this really obscure codec for my video camera, but the app for the security camera, you could record it to your phone, and then put it. I emailed it to my computer just for like. If there's something that happens outside that I want to on my security camera, if I want to back it up. So they use like this really obscure MP4 codec at one time. I'm just going to make this thing here big so I can read some comments here. LodgeNet, CP Wolf. Oh, yeah? Yes. North Coast says, when I was a teenager in the 90s, my neighbor used to have a C-band dish with a scrambler. He would record boxing matches for me on VHS all the time. Nice guy. It's good to have a nice friend like that, especially for wrestling. And I remember there was someone I know. I didn't know him too well. I should have known him better. He was a big wrestling fan, and he taped all the pay-per-views. And I think that's how I saw a lot of through the tape trading circuit. I saw a lot of WCW pay-per-views back in the day. A friend of a friend of a friend would have like this really grainy VHS copy of a copy of a copy of a copy on SLP. But I had a collection of the Cactus Jack matches where like all of his Falls Count Anywhere matches from WCW. Those were always great, and then they always ended with either Cactus Jack or his opponent getting hit in the head with a scoop shovel in the ending. North Coast says, I still have my He-Man figures. Are they worth anything? They probably are. Oh, Patrick, he missed the analog channel with the old dead preacher on a blue background and his wife. Yeah, I don't know. This Pastor Gene Scott. Yeah, he's off satellite now. It's everyone seems to remember him for his leather jacket and wearing like 3 pairs of glasses on his nose and his hat. And if you don't know who Pastor Gene Scott is, YouTube him. Pastor Gene Scott FCC. Find that video, it'll be. Steven Shoemaker. Yeah, I love older movies. If you like black and white movies, the channel Movies, which is on C-band, I think it's still on C-band. I haven't even gone there in a while. Had some good movies. They had some good older movies. It's an MGM, I believe. A lot of those movies are. And they had just classic old movies, black and white movies. It's kind of cool to see some of those. Even though they're black and white, they're kind of a little bit better than what you see today. In my opinion, anyway. Remember, here, at night you can hear the actuator. Yeah, my old actuator made noise. And now I got the new actuator with the mesh dish. It doesn't make as much noise. And it's fairly close to the house. Like, you know, I can hear my neighbor's garage door opener when they come and go. You can hear, and then Leo says, some saying Canada don't have much antenna. Is this true? We in the USA get lots of antenna channels, mostly showing reruns. Yeah, in Canada, we a lot of the broadcasters are also cable and satellite companies. They're either Bell Media, Chorus Entertainment, which people tell me Chorus is not Shaw, but the Shaw family's on the board. And there's Chorus Entertainment, and there's Rogers, which is a cable company. They own a lot of TV stations like City TV and channels like that. And there's not a whole lot of sub-channels. Like, not even with the public broadcasters. Like, you would think the public broadcasting, the CBC and TV Ontario could like share the same channel. You know, you'd fit all that on a channel, save budget. Have the French CBC, French TV Ontario, and the English versions, 4 channels on one carrier, right? And 720p, decent quality. I'm a believer of like for broadcasting, and with ATSC 3 coming out, I can see more. If they can want to stack more channels, I see them do more ATSC 3, and we're not going to see as much 4K. I'm just, my guess is we're going to see a few 4K channels, but we're going to see more 720p channels all fit onto one carrier, and maybe some standard definition channels. That's where I think ATSC 3 will go, and plus the pay channels that ATS 3 is going to have with the subscription services. So yeah, I don't know where that's going to go. I think what's going to happen with ATSC 3 is for a while we are going to keep all the DigiNets. I don't know if they're going to charge that, because with the way it is now, it's a big cash cow for the TV broadcasters. They can make a lot more advertising revenue if they got more eyeballs watching different programming. It's basically having programming on your commercials are on a hard drive somewhere, and there's an automated system that will play them back. So it definitely why they don't go the route of free to air. One of the big reasons why not everything is free to air that it could be is rights, broadcast rights, area rights. So that's why they encrypt. So they try, for example, the CBC will encrypt because they have programming that's they got the rights for it in Canada, and their way to try to block people with that with subscription TV is try to make people pay for it through cable, even though it's a public service, right? And it's paid for. It's funded by taxpayer dollars. There's a little when you see the ending credits, it's like paid for by the Ontario credit or the Newfoundland credit or the Quebec credit, tax credit for the program. And yeah, I'm not really gonna get too much into cable. Like, if people want to have cable, that's their prerogative. I'm not telling people what to do. My channel is more about information on how to get alternatives, and if you choose to do that, I hope with my last video it helped people with free to air, because I get a lot of people thinking the wrong thing about free to air, that they're going to get everything that they're going to get that they get on cable, and that's not how it works. You're going to get maybe a couple hundred channels, but it's going to be like broadcast channels that will be free. And it might not be exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking for movie channels, you're probably not going to get a movie channels. But a really good way of getting around that is just having a good internet provider and having Starlink. So I think Starlink is the device, the actual hardware for the antenna and the modem and all that. It's about $500. I may be wrong on this, and it's like about $100 a month for the service, and that's what we used to pay for really good internet. And plus, if you're out in the country and if you have a family, you could share it with your neighbors too. I guess if you have Starlink, if you're willing to split the bill, there's ways of doing that. Some people, I do know they do that. Help reduce the cost. I'm not going to get too much more into that. Patrick asks, can I call for a question? Are you on Discord, Patrick? I'm set up for Discord right now. I'm not going to do the Facebook chat. I think I'm going to sign off soon here, and we'll talk again next time. I was going to play the Velcro song, but I think I'm going to leave that today, and I just save that if I needed to get up for a break. Videotron is Videotron Kojiko. That's what you got in Quebec, I believe. We have Kojiko in this area, and actually the interesting thing is I use, for internet service providers, if you want to shop around, like in my town, I actually don't have to go through the cable company, but they use the cable. I use a different company for my internet provider, but they still use the cable line. So sometimes you can shop around and you get a better deal than cable. As I say, because I'm not interested in the TV, they try to get you in this deal where it's $100 a month and they give you phone, TV, and internet. But with phone, I have UMA. It's like $5 a month. The internet's about $60 something, and so that's the bills for telecommunications around here. Use the Yuma phone and that, and we just have over-the-air satellite TV. So okay, so Patrick, you want to? You can send me a text too. You got me on Facebook. So yeah, find me on Facebook. It's like the picture of me with the blue background, I think. That's my public profile. If I don't receive your friend request on my private profile, I probably won't. Or I'll try to, or I might sometimes. I just friend people with my public profile. My private profile is for like people that I know, people that go to my church, my mom and stuff like that are on my private profile. And I don't really post political stuff there or anything. Like I post funny memes, you know. That's been it. There's more than enough to watch on satellite. That is true. CBC should be free for all Canadians. Yeah, and I did have that program, the LTSS program, and it's yeah. And was it 1% of Canadians watch CBC? I can't watch it right. Well, here's how it works. I can go on the internet and watch CBC, but that's streaming. I can stream anything on the internet. I want to be able to watch something on my satellite or on my broadcast TV. You know, what happens if the internet's down? I did have the internet down this week or a couple of weeks ago. The power was down, so I had nothing except for this. I plugged this into my satellite and watched news on Galaxy 16 on this thing. So because I couldn't use the internet with the power out, the rotor wasn't powered up, so there's no Wi-Fi or anything. So yeah, one of these things. Check out my video on my receiver. The battery on this will charge for about, I think it lasts about 4 hours. You can watch TV with, maybe longer. I'm not sure. I never really used it that long. Probably 8 hours. And you could charge it on your, inside your car. So like if you're like really in a pinch, like no power. Oh, I'm not even showing this thing. I'm like showing it on my preview monitor. Transition. Just to show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so this thing here, when I had a power outage, I was able to watch TV with no power. So this thing, you just plug it into your satellite dish and it works. So that was kind of cool. It's a small screen. I mean, I'll put it on here. There you go. That's the size of the screen, but you have to have the cable in it. It's going to go to 103 West. Let's see here. Let's put it to 103. I should have like the preview on the screen for this thing. 103 KU band. Oh, I don't have the switch set for this thing. Go into the settings so I can watch Cozy TV on this thing. Alright, so it should be port. Port 4 is where it works. It's still not showing me signal. Exit that. Hitting the buttons though on this thing through all these little things they have on here is kind of a challenge. Cozy might have moved transponders. Probably going to be Murder, She Wrote right now. That seems to be what's on Cozy a lot of the time. There. I tuned in NHK on this thing. I'm just going to turn the audio down. Yeah, I don't think NHK will care about copyright strikes. I think NHK is pretty easy going, I think. Russia Today, they actually have a little ad. They used to have a little ad saying advertising media bank, so you can use their footage for your media projects. If you're into video editing and that type of stuff. YouTube does have free music you can use. There's like, if you have a YouTube studio, you can use you can get all this. You can get lots of music. I've used a lot of that music for my channel because if you use like mainstream music, you're gonna get a copyright strike. I think I had a video from like years ago, and I had, what did I have on it? The Star Wars John Williams Jawa music in a video that I did like years ago, and I got a copyright strike. And it was years, like it was on YouTube for years, and all of a sudden, bang, copyright strike. So I took it down. I was like, oh, okay, I don't even care about this thing I made back in 2000, just as a fun video project, and showed it to some friends. I wonder if my things froze up. Anyway, I don't even know if I'm still on now. I don't know, maybe I got kicked off. Oh, I still see the stream moving here. Okay. Anyway, I talk for an hour and I get tired. My brain gets tired. All right, so it's been an hour, 40 minutes, so I'm going to close this thing off here. Is anyone in Discord? Just G.I. Joe, and all right, I'm going to turn that off. Whoop, there we go. So thank you guys for joining me today. So if you're on Facebook, I got the room thing going on for, it's like a little video chat. It probably turns on your camera on your phone or your computer, and some people came on. Oh, I'm on. Get dressed. But it was really fun last night. I had maybe 7 or 8 people kind of chime in, and we had a little bit of chat about free air type stuff. I have to do it through my private Facebook account. I don't think I can do it through my page. I'm not sure. Probably have to pay for that sort of thing. I'm paying for that. But if you friend me on my public Facebook page, you can find me there. Okay, so I played the commercial. I'm just gonna play the ending, and this video. If you're watching the stream, you're catching like you want to catch the replay. Sometimes the replay takes. I've had it take like 12 hours to 24 hours to come back up. So just be patient. It should come up whenever YouTube decides to finish processing it and all that. I will talk to you guys. I don't know when I'm going to do my next live stream. Yeah, I haven't planned that out yet. But as I say, I do like to post it on Facebook. I do apologize. I was hoping to do more, but there wasn't a whole lot of free-to-air news to really cover. So I thought, well, I'll just take a break from it. And if you have questions, hopefully the chat room will help. And also the Facebook group that we have. Because sometimes I'm not able to answer the questions. But if you talk to other people in the group, if you want to do it through Facebook, I'm also created groups on Minds and on or on Gab and places like that. So if you're interested in those platforms, you want to move over to those platforms, you can join me there. And I have some free-to-air TV antenna type of content there. So yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna wrap this thing up and. We'll talk in the next time. Thank you so much for joining today. Hello, Robbie Strike here. I'd like to talk about free-to-air explained. So there is different bands on free-to-air satellite. As you can see over here, I have a 8-foot mesh C-band dish. Might be like what people call the old big black satellite dishes. That dish can receive I've been attacked by a cat. Been attacked by a cat. You're very affectionate. I'm the star. I like dishes. That dish can receive I've been attacked by a cat. I like dishes. That dish can receive I've been attacked by a cat. I like dishes. That dish can receive I've been attacked by a cat. I like dishes. That dish can receive I've been attacked by a cat. I like dishes. That dish can receive I've been attacked by a cat. Just what the world needs is more hot air. It's hard to blow up the world, man.
Take off, man. Wasp flying around me. It's like my outtake day. Hopefully I don't get stung. Another thing is with satellite dishes, watch out for wasps. Sometimes they make nests inside satellite dishes. Hopefully I don't get stung. Oh, I feel lightheaded now. Okay. All right. So, a very common question I get is, people always email me in the eastern part of the hemisphere, especially on my Galaxy 19 videos. Can I get this in my part of the world? The answer is no, and the big reason is for that, to try to explain it, is satellites orbit above the Earth, like about a quarter way to the moon. I'll put the actual number. So yeah, they orbit above the Earth. And what happens is the Earth is round. So satellite, for example, 97 West is one that's asked a lot about. You can't receive 97 West, say, over in Europe and Russia, because the beam is focused on basically this continent here, Canada and the US. I think you can get some channels in South America. I'm getting some wind here. I don't think that's...
So please check out my YouTube channel, Robbie Strike, and check out all the technology videos and reviews that I've done covering satellite, free-to-air, cell phone, how to do stuff in Linux, how to do stuff in shortwave and old technology, and doing neato things with computers.
Hello, Robbie Strike here. I'd like to talk about free-to-air explained. So there is different bands on free-to-air satellite. As you can see over here, I have a